a dump truck.
We're starting the night off already with tech issues, just so
Tech
everyone
issues.
knows.
Yes.
It's been storming all day and all evening, so Terry's internet signal is absolute trash.
Right. As y'all can see, I'm sitting in the dark. I've had to move locations. I'm literally using a dump truck to prop up my iPad here in the dark. Y'all hold on. Let me see if I can get a little light on the subject here. Hold on. Just go ahead and hit him with our waiver and welcome to Monday night Alabama Skeleton Key stuff.
Yes, we want to thank everybody for coming and hanging out on our new time slot. This is when we'll be every week from now on. And then for our disclaimer, let me move the banners. This show is not intended for children. There will most likely be swearing and discussion of content that could be inappropriate. We swear a lot. We try not to when we're earlier in the evening, but we do swear a lot. We have eternally curious minds, and we love to question everything. At no point do we believe that our opinions, religion, beliefs, anything are better or more correct than yours. They're just our opinions. If you don't agree, that's absolutely okay. Just be an adult about it and scroll on.
Y'all hold on. I'm sorry. The first light didn't work like I thought it would.
I've decided instead of 0, she gets -4 now. And hello, Sam, and hey, Robin.
Okay. Does
That's
that
that's
work?
better.
A little better. Okay. I turned on the one back here in the sunroom. I thought that would help, and when I looked, it was still just as dark. So I'm sitting on my phone and stuff.
Might be
So
might be good just to have a lamp next to both possible streaming locations for next time.
well, you just never know where it's going to work
Right.
at. Earlier, the last time had to go by the front door, this time I didn't want to work there.
Um.
So yeah, I had to move over to more by the window. So it is what it is. So who's with us tonight? Um, I'm sure Jess thanked everybody, and we're
Yes.
so excited to be on prime time Monday night on the Things Network. Um, and I see I am now 4 days negative in the hole
I
for
decided instead of 0, since we were at -3, I thought you needed another. Just we'll go -4 instead of 0. That was giving you extras, not taking them away.
right. I can't argue that fact. So, um, not much, Sam. I still have not finished listening to your messages because we always have these issues, and we're always, last minute trying to cram to get online and be here. So, and here we are once again. We could never have perfect weather or whatever. It's just damned if we do, damned if we don't.
And let me
So,
go ahead and say, fair warning, my children are both still awake. As you saw the young one
well,
there.
all of mine are too, and they had to vacate.
Yes, she's
Um,
wearing nothing but a t-shirt and underwear, so I told her she had to go away.
um, we're not doing kitty porn tonight on primetime things. That's definitely not going to be our thing here on Monday
No,
nights.
absolutely not.
So, but we do have to say it is an earlier time slot. There will possibly be children and TV
Oh,
and stuff in the background,
yeah.
and we do apologize. And that's going to be both locations.
But also,
So,
if you hear me start cursing and you want to say something about, oh my God, quit cussing in front of your children, they're used to it. I don't censor myself in front of my children. They know they're adult words and they're not supposed to be used. So
Yes, same for the ones around here. Well, except the little bitty ones who tend to copy me until they get old enough for their mom to go, "You don't copy grandma."
no, ever since we picked on William when he had his shirt off, talking about show us the boobs, he has not. He doesn't have his shirt off anytime we have a show now. So he's
Right,
always
right.
dressed.
So, did we get this show shared in the things?
No, we have
Are
not.
we shared everywhere?
No.
Let's share. Shall we share, everyone? Everyone, go share.
Is everybody in
Um,
the same chat? We've got Jesse, Sam, Robin was in here for a second in the beginning. Are y'all? It looks like y'all are in the same chat. So, are y'all on things or spirit? So I know which one to share, basically.
I'll go to Spirit. Share that one here. And for anyone this is first time viewer,
Yeah, there
um, we are Spirit, Southern Paranormal Inspection Research Investigation Team, out of Alabama. We do investigate all over the Southeast. We have an investigation coming up this weekend. It is a house that we've been investigating for about a year. We keep threatening this is the last time, this is the last, but we are gonna go out and or go out there one more time before we cleanse it. The last time we were gonna cleanse it, it didn't work out. We were all sick, and so we're gonna go out there one more time. And Things Network is actually going to stream that and have a panel of investigators. So we're really excited about that. They've helped us out before a few weeks ago, and
Yes.
that was a great thing. So of course we love Jeremy and Crystal and Howard Petrie, who introduced us to the Things Network. We want to go ahead and give shout outs to everybody here while we're getting started. There's Miss Irene. Welcome, 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 Miss Irene. Um, y'all bear with us. Just I'm trying to get this out shared in all the right locations. I think Jess is doing the same.
It looks like Sam has actually already gotten it shared in the Skeleton Key Network group.
Oh, cool, cool, cool.
Let's see. and
Now I'm
and in the spirit groups, the Southern Paranormal group. So I think we're pretty good. Sam shares lots of things.
Yeah, Sam is on us on that shared. We appreciate you for that, Sam. Um, and
Oh, it
so,
does look like someone sitting on the toilet. The -4.
oh, it does, doesn't it? Mm.
That's accurate. This is accurate.
Right, 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 right. Um, I'm just trying to get our thing out here. Let's see. I see
Well,
somebody
I will
else.
say that I got in our little, we have the dots grid pin that we kind of have.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
I,
yeah.
I got us a new one in. It came in today, and it is rechargeable, so we won't have so many issues with. Um, oh God, did we remember batteries? Because we have the memory collectively of a goldfish with ADHD.
That is such a true story.
And then I got we had them at the investigation at the salon, but we also have rechargeable flashlights that are also black lights and everything. So
Yes, yes. So yeah, I would like to just say back on the salon thing. I'm gonna get in touch with them and see about going in there again and doing things a little bit differently. Of course, you're gonna see about hacking the cameras that we have.
yes, because we
Um,
have some really nice night vision cameras, um, and we would like to be able to use those.
right, right, without having to pay the subscription on them. So Jess is gonna see if she can use her
Yeah, see, that's
technical.
because she had to move. I think this is her third location that she tried before finally finding one that worked.
Yeah, we
And
may have it may have said that it was working in there, but I was freezing up and going robotic. I couldn't hear her. Um, So if you would come in here and maybe adjust a little bit of lighting, that would help. Where do you see my setup, Stevie? How I've got the, oh, here, I'm gonna take a picture and I'm gonna send it to you, Jess, and then you'll
Okay.
have to post it just because it is kind of hilarious here. If you can actually
Oh yeah, yeah. No, she definitely needs light.
see what I'm doing here. Show you
I
the,
didn't know how long you had been in here. If you had seen all the moving she did.
okay, I'm gonna send these to you in Messenger, Jess, and then you can do your
I've
thing
got it
and
open.
post them up here and show how I'm holding the iPad so it's not like cutting me off at the chin or way up here. So yeah, that's. Did you get them yet? It's probably sending
Uh,
slow.
it's sending.
It's
Yeah, it's just slow.
it's sending slow.
I feel like I know that joke, but I am.
That's better. Can y'all see me better now?
Oh, that's just. Let me share this with y'all too. Hmm. This is the streaming setup this evening.
You might be a redneck when you use your grandbaby's toys to hold the iPad. Yes, I'm in your dad's chair in the living room. She says that like nobody's supposed to be in this chair but her father.
What am I
There,
hearing?
um, can you turn that off? I'm not sure. I hear that too, like a jingling. It's got to be the TV.
Yeah, it just stopped.
Yeah, it's got to be the TV.
Okay. There we go.
No,
There we
Jesse said everybody's like, "What's that noise?" Hang on, I had to move locations. Everybody, I'm sorry. We weren't planning on being in this
It really
spot.
was horrible. It was like it was squealing in my ear.
Yeah, I could hear it too bouncing back, so it wasn't pleasant for me either. So, old Stevie's like bringing in light now. It probably won't stay there, kid.
Oh, anyways, I guess we can talk kind of. I know we discussed it a little bit last night. What our plan was with this investigation, because this is a place we've been investigating for a minute. We have so much audio and video evidence there that we are not going to fully set up like we are doing the investigation. We're going to get to be a little more laid back about it.
Yeah, we're just gonna go
We're going to
set
have the
up camp.
we're going to have the camera set up for everybody to see on the live stream, but we're not setting up.
Whoa.
Wow, crispy.
And whoa. Way down now. That's blind to me. You'll have to move it that way. That thing kills my
Oh,
eyes. I'd rather have shadow than. It was better without it. Just you could turn that one off, and that one's fine. Now it's too shadowed on that side. They could only see half my face
Because you won't let me put it in the right spot.
because it kills my eyes in the right spot.
hello, Drew. Thanks for joining us.
Mary, me, Drew, we're on earlier now, so you can be awake. Now she's blinding me with that light. I'm seeing spots, y'all.
I do not know why Parrot wears an eye patch.
Mm-mm.
I just had dinner before we started. My 11-year-old decided it's been one of those days. The pharmacy messed up with one of my prescriptions, so I have been without one of my bipolar medications all day.
Mm. I've I'm making, well, kind of in the process of making food. I hope it don't burn in there. In fact, Stevie, we turned the oven off. Sorry if I yelled and
Rip
blasted
all the
up.
headphone users.
Um, yeah, sorry, but I don't want to burn my. I just happen to think we
Okay,
got the.
everybody in the chat, really quick, either type spirit or things and tell me which page you are currently watching from so I can see which one has more and send everybody to that one. And then we
Oh,
can continue talking while we wait for that.
yeah, and I didn't send my thing to Tom. There's also a better picture of the dump truck view just while
No,
we're waiting.
no, that's actually not here. There's one mouse using a water bottle, and that's the only thing. That's the only sound over here. Minus like my air purifier and stuff.
Yeah, and I don't think I have anything but the dogs and the cats in the background now.
So I do have Skylar and William over here. Skylar's right here. William is
Ah.
I told her she could say that only if she put in headphones.
Hey, little husband.
Harry says, "Hey, little husband." He says hi.
You know, and I've been meaning to ask you, is Kate okay? We have not heard from Kate lately.
They're making it. They're making it. That's kind of where things are at the moment. They're making it through, but it's a rough go.
No, I'm sending them all the best that they.
I haven't talked to anybody today. Like I said, in order to counteract the fact that I was going to be without a med, all like 2 doses of my medication because I take it at morning and night. The one that I usually take at night, the one that makes me all, I split it into I took one this morning and one tonight. So I have been sleeping all day.
Hey, Tom, welcome to the show. So yeah, I think we've pretty much got most of our people. I've shared it out everywhere.
Yeah,
Hopefully, we're over our technical difficulties and stuff. So,
seems pretty clear. You're pretty clear. So
as we were saying about Alabama Graceland, we will be there this Saturday night, and Irene, Sam, if y'all would like to be part of the panel, get with Jeremy and let Jeremy know that, because I know that they are establishing that panel of investigators that will be watching. I'm not quite sure how many cameras we will have going. Again, that's going to depend on weather. I guess I will pull up the weather here and check when it's supposed to be Saturday, because I take my Wi-Fi thingy over there, and like as of tonight, I can't get a signal here, but could be different over there. So yeah, we'll have some cameras. Don't know how many, but I know that there's going to be a panel of investigators viewing, like they did at the salon. And Tom, I'm glad you're here, because I was going to ask if there was any way you thought you could come in next Saturday night, and because this will be the last time we're going to really really start cleansing it, because my parents are getting closer and closer, and we need to start moving some of these things out of there. So if you can make it, Tom. But we are making this a very small group of investigators, even though it's a very large location. um we already know.
we feel comfortable with being
Yeah,
a small group of
yeah.
us.
Well, Tom, we're and for those, Irene, Sam, if y'all are part of the panel, I think Jess and I to discuss it. And would anyone work setting anything up for 11 o'clock over there? And then even that might be a little bit early, but sometimes between 10:30, and we might get a little bit of something walking around, but usually it ramps up around midnight, like
Yep.
midnight to 1:30, 1:45. It's just really active.
And
This
then
has
every
been,
now and then, closer to like right around 3, we'll get another spike of activity. But it's like it goes in little spikes. Like we'll have this much activity for this little bit of time, and then it'll drop way down here. Then it'll come back up at a different time. It's very particular.
it's very tricky. And like, it's like, when you got so much and you got that excitement. It's like, okay, we're gonna go ahead and pack up and get out of here. Then something else really big will happen, and you're like, okay, and you sit down
Oh
and you
yeah, no, that's
wait.
another thing. It really, really likes to spike up when we tell it we're about to leave.
hmm Well, and it even knows the difference when we kind of fake it. Well, we're gonna go home now. It's kind of like, yeah, huh, right. You
Yeah,
ain't you
okay.
ain't going nowhere. But
I don't know.
once
Let's
we got half the equipment packed up
then it
and
can
we're
start.
really heading out, then it'll do something big and it's like, oh, shit, we gotta sit back
Also,
down.
hi Gary. I think Gary is a new viewer, so nice to have you.
Yeah, welcome to the show, Gary.
For Chaos
The
Incarnate.
yeah, um, but that's the first time I've seen your name. But if we have been on and we missed you, sorry. Um,
I don't know. Should we talk about kind of the uh, what types of activity and kind of things we have been through at Graceland? The things we've
yeah,
gotten
yeah,
there.
yeah, and Sam, because we are on prime time and children are still awake, you'll have to catch that on another network at another time.
Well, she says that, but there's a
well,
reason that this is here.
well,
Is we don't do an F bomb counter on prime time and on earlier times, but we do call them F bomb incidents because we're not supposed to.
right, right, right. So, yes, we're being behave here. So the activity we've experienced at Graceland, Alabama Graceland, I will specify this is not, we're not talking about Elvis's place in Memphis. This is a house that I accidentally found and my parents decided to buy because it was so full of stuff and my dad had just retired and he needed something to do. So this is his project. They were originally going to flip it, but now they've decided that they're probably going to live in it. But when we first started cleaning it up, I mean, this was during the day, we heard footsteps. There was a shelf that was literally ripped off the wall, and everything on it crashed down.
And it was one of those that it was sturdy. It was not screwed just like into the drywall. Like it was in
Mm-mm.
stud. It was
This
you
house,
had to rip.
let me pull up and I'll give you the date when it was built, stuff like,
All right,
yeah.
now my closet light's doing its thing again. You see, it's come on now.
Uh-oh. We're talking about paranormal activity and it's happening right before your eyes. I was looking down, did it come on camera right in front of us? Ew. And what kind of switch is on that?
It's a pull chain. It's not a switch.
Oh, interesting. Well, yes, Jess Beauregard, since you were the one that was following. Now, the footsteps and stuff that I heard and the crashing, all that literally happened during the day when there was a guy there my parents had hired. I was there supervising, and this happened. I mean, he didn't even know anything about my paranormal team. So, of course, when this happened, I thought, I've got to bring, my paranormal team in here. So, of course, we did. Actually, it was COVID, and we kind of had it was a paranormal team, but it
Hmm.
was also we had a few special guests because everybody had been locked up for so long, and so we did it like in October
Hmm.
after everybody had been locked up. So it was Jess and I on the team, a couple other team members, and Jesse Wilson was with us.
Oh God, are you talking
And
about in the attic?
yes, I'm setting the scene here. So there's a room upstairs, just one room, and then
That
there's a
room had the
closet.
closet, but it was so full of stuff when they originally got it that they thought that was it. But when they got that closet cleared out, there's a closet inside the closet. I almost had a heart attack, and your clock
My
can just
clock is
kiss
so
my ass right
late.
now.
It is so late.
It is very late today.
Right.
And
So
and Jesse, I was turning because I couldn't remember. I couldn't tell if Lilith was still on the back of my chair or not.
so um I'm just setting the scene. There's probably 11 of us, and that this stairway going up it is really narrow, y'all. I mean,
Now tonight we had had a lot of really, really big hits on the spirit box, especially. We had been out by the pool. We had had very
the
clear
motion
communication.
lights, yeah, the motion lights, were going off. Um, I mean, it was just a really crazy night. So I mean, that's the scene. I've said the narrow steps. Now there's a train of people. We have, I think, Jess Beauregard leading the pack.
No, Jesse was right in front of me, and we were kind of walking side by side when we could. Oh, yeah, you gave us a heart attack going outside and banging on the window.
Yes. Well,
It was
y'all be glad to know. I think those windows are gone now.
karma. But yes, no, we had gone upstairs, and this little narrow stairway that leads up. It's not that it's actually like physically narrow, but it feels very, very closed in. There, we had found candle wax all down each of the steps.
It's just weird.
It's weird. We get all the way up. We get into the bed. We go into the bedroom. We go through, and we had already been out because the woman who used to own the house, she ran a costume shop or costume repair shop. And in this closet within a closet, this giant creepy ass bunny head mask, like full on, like covers your whole head, was sitting on a shelf in the closet within a closet. So it had been creepy the whole time, and it just felt oppressive up there. Me and Jesse get up there, and I'm holding this. No, Jesse had the spirit box at that point because I think she threw it at me.
Yeah.
She
And
had
mowed through all of us.
Yes, because we get up there and we get to the closet. We had not made it. We were on our way to the closet within the closet. We get into the closet about halfway through, and on the spirit box, all we hear, what was it exactly that was said, Jesse? Was it leave now?
Just leave. I think it was just leave.
Something like, it was 2 words. I know that. Oh, yeah. She had the phone because we were live.
Yeah.
I was holding the spirit box, and he told us, just leave. And it was very loud. It was a male voice. It was
very
deep,
dominant.
yeah,
very, very creepy.
And Jesse throws the phone that we're streaming live from at me and mowed through all 11 people to get back downstairs. So it was, Jesse just left.
Yeah. I mean, she wasn't asking no questions. She was out of there. And, of course, she's always, I want to go on investigation. Well, this is why we can't take you. Because you can't.
Well, we can't take her up into the embed. We'll sit her at the computer to do the live stream. She can do that.
But she's gonna hear something and she's gonna poop herself and run out the door.
Yes, nothing but ass and elbows.
Yes. She says she's brave now.
You're a brave boy.
Okay, so Jesse, let me tell you some of the last experiences, Of course, one of our team members that we refer to as the Twink. The Twink was very much a non-believer.
Let me jump in 1 second really quick and say, Jesse, don't feel bad because that house ran me and your mother off twice.
Yeah, I mean, it's ran me completely out, but I went right back in, but I did have to go.
Now, one time we got in the cars and we left.
Well, we were already on our way out then anyway.
But we hurried.
Well, I mean, yeah, and had we not already been
that was creepy. That night that was something else.
I mean, just, yeah. So, I forgot which experience how. Oh, the Twinkie.
Mhm.
So the Twinkie is our website builder. Excuse me, y'all. And he had gone over there just to kind of walk through. You know, he wasn't in paranormal. He's just into technology, building the website. You know, helping a friend out, doing me a favor. So the first time he went in there, he had an experience with an app, a spirit box that we were using. And I know a lot of people don't agree with the apps. I think some of them
We have
can
a
work.
couple that we do use that do not have a programmed vocabulary. Most of them, yeah, they're just maybe they work,
Right,
maybe they don't. There's no way to know for sure.
right. But Matt had an experience. His father, or Twinkie, his father recently passed away. It had been 7 or 8 months, I guess, 6 months, almost a year, something like. I think we were coming up on a year anniversary of it. And his father came through. So that kind of turned him and made him, you know, think, well, there might be something to this paranormal thing. So he went, you know, came on a few investigations with us. And one of the times in Alabama Graceland, he was actually grabbed. I think that same night was the night that we were all sitting there and another team member heard, and if y'all seen lights flicker, it's just a storm. Um, the we the other team member heard a conversation going on in the other room, and that same night when there's a piano, I had checked the piano when I went in there to make sure, you know, the cover on the keys was closed, everything was closed. We all heard the piano. I think that we all heard the piano play. It played a couple of notes.
And that
Um,
piano, I don't think we've ever opened it other than just to check the keys. Like we check it and then we close it. We don't leave it open.
yeah, no, because kind of the way it's like one of them. I don't think it's actually a grand piano. Maybe it is. Hell, I don't know.
I think it's an up. Isn't it an upright or
No,
is it a
no,
grand? It's like a.
it
It's like
isn't.
a. It's like an in between an upright and a grand. It's weird. Or an
Yeah,
upright and a baby grand, kind of in between.
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. It's a big old piano, but yeah, we don't leave the lid on the keys open, and um, we dang sure heard it playing. Um, we've of course footsteps and thumping and bumping. I think we did a fundraiser what in November
Hmm.
when
And that's about when we actually went around and we noticed that because none of the windows had been replaced yet, or at the time they had not been replaced. They were all the original windows. We had never done anything with them because there was just so much other crap to do. Y'all had, your parents had not really. And we got to walking around and we realized that in the years of built up dust on the windows, there are crosses inscribed on a just drawn in the dust, but then
almost
there's dust over them, so it's not that it had just been done. So it
yeah
was on
it
most of them.
yeah it's really really a weird place.
Well, you say spirit, Irene. You need to add an S on the end of that because it is not one.
Right.
That has been made very clear a few
Yeah.
times.
And
The reason that Jessie did run when she did is because we had done the spirit box session by the pool, and we had gotten some really almost just very creepy, a little bit malevolent type answers from a male spirit, and that's why because it was a man, she was gone because it was creepy. That dude, I still don't like
yeah.
him.
Yeah, and he's come through a few times. I was gonna pull up here. I think the house was built in the 60s. Hold on, let me pull up my information here.
I had to send my child to the shower. I'm gonna angle up so we don't see her underwear.
We do know that
You can wave hello if you would like. Okay.
one of the first owner of the home, of the original owner, um actually shot someone trying to break in the front door.
And it's funny because we finally found that out. There was several times where when we had all been investigating that this one closet that's next to the fireplace, and like the fireplace is here, the front door is back this way down a little hallway, and that little closet's right there, and nobody wanted to sit in front of that closet. It was something that didn't feel right. Turns out that's where he kept his guns. And the night that he heard somebody trying to jiggle the. What are you doing? Trying to jiggle the knob, and he went and grabbed a gun out of that closet, and he shot him where he stood as soon as he got the door open. But then we also have Mary.
Right, who was the second owner.
Mm-hmm. And from what we understand, she did take in a lot of battered women and children who just needed help getting out of crazy situations. But our issue is that it's hit or miss. It's 50-50 what we hear about her, good or bad. Some people talk about how wonderful she was to do that and to help. How many husbands did she have, by the way?
Oh, well, I think at least 6.
And several of them died.
Yes.
That she was a widow. It wasn't divorce. It was widow. But some of the other neighbors that have been talked to about it say that she did not treat those women and children she took in very well. Some of them were sleeping outside in sheds. So we don't know.
Yeah, there's and then well, Sam is talking about a graveyard that she wants to cleanse, and yes, we will touch on that in a
Because
moment.
there is also a graveyard on the property.
Right, and I was just about to go there, and I looked up and seen Sam's comment there about the graveyard. So the original owners, this is like 6 acres in an undisclosed place in Alabama that my parents owned, but at one time I believe the property itself was over 500 acres before the original owners. I won't go into what they did, but they did have a pretty big business and they ended up polluting land. And the town ended up running them out. There was some pretty dark history there. But anyway, when the land was all chopped up and sold, I mean, it was actually shut down, unusable for anything for years. I guess, except what the house itself was on. So
Hi, Chrissy. Thanks for joining us.
I think that actually got auctioned off, or however the family lost possession of that lot that my parents bought with that house on it. Of course, that part was taken out of our family, we'll just call them. I guess in the beginning, when they were ran out of town. So, anyway, in the end, this family came back to town, settled their shit with the EPA and all that. And there's, I don't know, it might be an acre there that this family still owns that members of the family are buried in. The original owner who.
They actually came and buried somebody out there after y'all bought it, didn't like after
Oh
y'all
yeah,
bought the house.
there's been a couple of funerals out there since. There was one right after they bought it, and then remember there was one out there just before we investigated in November.
Yep.
When we did the fundraising.
So it's still an active cemetery. So
Right. That someone in the family still goes and takes care of it and all that stuff. Um, and Sam has got a cemetery that she says that there are some spirits, some people trapped there that need to be crossing over. I think I've touched on this a little bit with you, Jess, but everything has been so hectic for both of us the last few days. She's invited us to come up there where she's at, but I did explain to her money is tight for everyone right now, and with gas being what it is, And what we do for free, you know. So it's not like we're making bank down here investigating in Alabama or anything like that. Um, as
I,
everybody knows,
and I
in
do think it's a good thing to point out, like Irene is saying here, trying to cleanse an entire cemetery, you're not going to be able to do
well, and that's kind of what I wanted to touch base with you on too, Sam. Is that I mean, a cemetery is kind of their final resting place. I think all you can really do is
You can cross
met.
over those that do want to cross over. Yes, if you have that, if that's one of your talents that you can do. But
Right.
you can't.
And we
In my
don't want to say you
experience,
can't. You
in my
can't.
experience, better is the way to say it. Most of the time, I don't come across haunted cemeteries because most of the time, the spirits that I've run across, they haunt somewhere they live, not where their body
You know, I
lays.
think I've used the term on our show before. You know, I like to call them floaters. You know,
Yeah, so you can get some there, but I
you
have
know,
found
they're
that the
just
one.
kind of up walking around, stretching their
Yeah.
legs. You know, um,
Now that's going to make it even harder if there is a mass grave and unknown graves. That is going to be even harder because there's a lot more to that. But
right. And
the ones I
Sam,
have found that
you
do
know,
actually haunt cemeteries, they're usually the most stubborn and the most difficult to cross.
right. And Sam, I'm not, you know, wanting. I told you this before when you know, I told you don't do it alone. And I mean,
No,
you're
hey, we're not
saying
saying you can't do it. Don't do it alone.
don't do it alone. And you know, I think something, you know, that big, if it's a mass grave,
That's
um,
going to have more than just
you
spirit
got
energy. You're going to probably have some echoes of some not good things.
right. And yeah, you just
Be
I would
careful.
really I would
Careful.
really research um personally myself, to be honest, something like that, unless I knew exactly who was in this mass grave. Their I, religious beliefs, or you know, I don't even want to say their spiritual beliefs. You know, I wouldn't want to go in there. I wouldn't want to go like you wouldn't want to go throw Native American stuff at you know a bunch of you know Jewish people or African
Or
American
vice versa.
people or
It's
vice
just,
versa. Yeah, you wouldn't come
you want to
in.
know that
You
you're going
wouldn't
in
come
for
in
the
with
right thing.
Catholic prayers, you know, throwing holy water and stuff on the Native Americans, you know. So, um,
You need more information and to be careful and not do it
right,
alone.
right, you know, and I
All right. Did you
personally,
see it that time?
oh hell no, I look down. It's doing it when
It
I'm.
turned off and back on.
It's doing it. Well, I mean, we have witnesses, you know, watching that it's happening. Um, hmm, that's interesting. Very well. I mean, we've said all along. You need to. You need an investigation there. I need an investigation here. You know, my husband seen shadows and stuff. Um, Sam, what I was going to suggest is I myself have. Well, I'm just going to put it out there. In 2003, my best friend was 8.5 months pregnant, and she died, and we lost her and the baby. And
I hope y'all saw it turn off and on while I was trying to take a picture of the pull cord.
all the all the there was really bad things going on at her house, and uh I decided, you know, I'd done things, and Sam, I'm basically telling you this because I'm going somewhere with this. For what, 15 years, bad shit. It was heavy over there. It just we knew, myself, my daughter, we knew that my friend Liz was stuck. She was trapped. She wasn't ready to go. She was going to have a baby. She was not ready to leave this world, and it was suddenly, and I don't think she was really aware. And it was when she has been dead for 15 years. I decided it was time to move her on. Um, her death date and her birthday were just a few days apart. So I began talking to her on her birthday, sitting at my house on the anniversary that she died. I drove over to her old house without anyone knowing this. I didn't go in, but I talked to her all the way over there. If you're ready to leave and move on, I need you to get in the truck. I need you to get in the truck. I need you to come home with me. And I believe that she did. That night, I sat here, her and I talked. I'm not going to say, but I talked. I feel like she was with me and heard me and knew that this was the right thing. Um, I let her know, it had been 15 years. You and Sierra have been gone for 15 years. And it's time for you to let go. There's a better place for you to be than this. And I believe that I helped her move on. I assured her that she could come back and visit, check on us, that our love and all that, we're always going to be here for her. So I don't believe that you will actually have to go to the cemetery, maybe go out around there and start talking to him. Start talking to him now, Sam. Those of you that want to cross over, that want to go home, you know, come with me and I will show you the way. Bring them to your house, light a candle. I tend to work with, the moon. It just depends on what I'm doing. But,
Now, I will jump in and say only bring them to your house if you know who you're dealing with or what you're dealing with for sure, what kind of
right.
person they were. So if it's not something that you're 100% confident on the person that you're dealing with, choose a different location. Choose somewhere
Right.
else that you can
Yeah,
work
a
with them like
neutral
that.
ground, a park or, somewhere, that has really good energy. Now we have come across a, a couple of things that we think, might have been, I don't want to say Native American, but native to the land that we were investigating, and we offered them. I hate to call them it, but we offered them to take them to another location that was more like what this was, before it was all this, before it was
And you do
built
have to be
up,
careful because sometimes you'll make an offhanded comment offering to let one come home, and they come home.
and they do.
Terry now has a little girl in her house, which came from Alabama Graceland.
Yeah, we're pretty sure it's a little
And
girl because
there are a whole lot more experiences we've been through, including the little girl and everything. But y'all will see a lot more of it. Hopefully on the investigation Saturday. And yes, Jesse, there's not a switch that actually controls the closet at all, and there's actually not room to stand in there because my whole dresser is actually in there too, so it's not a walk-in. So no, nobody's switch.
well,
So,
I mean, yeah, here we are, talking about paranormal and paranormal
and you can see
things.
this is a sliding door, so it's not like there's another door over here open that somebody could be sneaking into. This is, in order to open this side, that side would be closed. So, and Robin, also, if you're still here watching, please check your Facebook messages. I sent you a message that I need some information.
Yes, Robin, if you're here.
Because if y'all don't know, Robin is actually her debut of her show on the Skeleton Key Network, or Skin as we affectionately call it, is tonight. It starts at 8 o'clock, right? We'll be finished over on the Skeleton Key Network. So,
Here, I'll ring her phone and then hang it up. So she,
yeah, I just need to know what kind of background she wants, as well as I need to send her the link so that she can actually be in the StreamYard.
right. So yeah, if y'all aren't watching something on things next, um,
I can't hear you now. We can't hear you.
hang on, I'm gonna have to
Oh,
send her a message.
now we can hear you. Now we can hear you. We could not hear you for all of that.
Oh, you couldn't hear me?
I think it's because it was a Facebook
Oh,
call was ringing. And then,
okay.
in the future, maybe we'll do some talking about the experiences at your house, the experiences not only at my house but on this property. Within reason, we will be leaving out recent events, but
Right. Robin said she sent me a message, said she's in StreamYard.
is she in the?
Let me tell her to come to the chat.
She might. This is the
Okay.
one.
I think she's gonna come in for a minute because she's still got a couple of minutes.
Okay, I sent her the invite into her StreamYard broadcast.
Well, thank you, Gary, for joining us. And I know we were kind of all over the place tonight when the weather messed me up. That gets me off. When I get out of my studio, out of my little comfort zone in there, that starts off on a bad foot.
Well, and this is our first episode going back to strictly paranormal discussion as well. So we're kind of going to get back into the groove of things, make some plans. We need to update our whatchamacallit, our lineup list, so we know kind of what we're going to talk about each week.
Right. But like I said, we will be here Saturday night on the Things Network, on the Skeleton Key Network. So you could, I know we'll have different cameras on the Skin Network because things.
Oh, yeah, go ahead and finish off.
You go ahead.
I was just going to say we are going to have at least one separate camera that will be on the Skin Network only, because we're actually, since we've done all the normal investigating, we're actually going to bring our tarot cards, our pendulum, all of our witchy stuff, and we're going to kind of see what we can get that way, because we have not really done that with Alabama Graceland before. So that will be only on the Skin Network, though.
Right, because we do have more team members, and we don't really bring the witchiness into investigating.
Yes,
we
but
like to just use our own.
This is kind of a good.
A wrap up, a finale.
Yeah.
A finale investigation at Graceland. So yeah, we hope that everybody will join us there. I think we're talking 11 p.m. Central Standard Time. So that'd be what, midnight Eastern, and on down the line. Y'all figure out where you're at.
Yep.
So I think we're down here to just the last few minutes. So if anybody has any questions or comments, you can get a hold of us at spiritalabamateam@gmail.com. We love hearing from y'all. We love your questions, comments, story, everything. And I'm getting messages from Robin that she's having trouble getting in.
Tell her to check her Facebook messages from me. She's got the link. She's got everything in there in her Facebook messages from me. Oh yes, Robin, check your Facebook messages. I sent you some from myself, where I've got your link and
Yeah.
everything for you to go into.
Yeah. And again, everybody jump on over to the Skeleton Key Network. If you've not been there yet, like us, follow us, share us over there. Join Robin, her kickoff debut podcast tonight. Support her, show her the love. And we appreciate all the love and everything we get from things from
Here is
Chrissy and Crystal and Jeremy, everybody that has supported us on things. We love y'all, and I know I'm missing some names. Irene, Sam, y'all are all part of things. We love all of y'all so much, and we appreciate y'all for being with us.
Yep, absolutely. So we'll go ahead and we're going to go ahead and wrap up because I know they do have somebody that's following us tonight. So we'll go ahead and end off a couple of minutes early so that way there's no overlap. And we will see y'all Saturday night on the investigation panel and again on Monday. So, and next Monday we'll also have, Monday night, 7 Central, and Monday morning will actually be on Network with Cauldrons of Coffee, our debut episode.
Yes, a morning show. Us, non-morning people.
We're making it work. We're drinking lots of coffee. All right. Well, we love you guys. And,
thanks for joining us. And something just scared the hell out of Jess.
Yes, my child.
We'll see y'all. Well, we're gonna jump on over to Robin's show, so we'll hopefully see some of y'all on comments.
All right.
Or all of y'all. Y'all have a great night. Thanks for joining Alabama Skeleton Key.
Bye.